Now, and taking us into 2024, we've all the latest headlines at home and around the world with the ITV News.
Goodbye 2023. The world welcomes the new year in style. Fireworks are illuminating the skies from Sydney to Dubai. Here in the UK, revellers are gearing up for the celebrations.
And 2023 has been horrible, so we're hoping that 2024 is going to be much better.
It's just such a big celebration and it's all over the world and we watch it every year. Have a new year!
We will be live in Edinburgh and London for the countdown and the party. Also tonight. The US Navy kills Houthi rebels attacking shipping in the Red Sea. And in sport, no dream end to 2023 for Arsenal as Fulham set back their title ambitions.
This is ITV News with Romilly Weeks.
Good evening. There are just minutes left of 2023 here in the UK, with the countdown to usher in the new year getting underway shortly. In the Southern Hemisphere, celebrations started at 10 a.m. this morning, with the Pacific island nation of Kiribati the first to welcome in 2024, followed by spectacular firework displays in Australia and Asia. Here, the Mayor of London has promised that Sydney and Hong Kong shows will have nothing on the capital's fireworks over the Thames. For many, the new year provides a welcome chance to look forward after 12 months marked by devastating natural disasters and conflict. It's just over a quarter of an hour until Big Ben chimes midnight. We'll bring you the big moment and all the atmosphere from our correspondents on the banks of the Thames in London and at the Hogmanay celebrations in Edinburgh. But first, Graham Stottard reports on the celebrations so far. And in a few minutes' time, we'll bring you the countdown to 2024 from the banks of the River Thames in London and the Hogmanay celebrations in Edinburgh. First, to other news. American forces have killed a number of Iranian-backed militants as they attempted to storm a container ship in the Red Sea. Commercial vessels have come under attack as they pass through the narrow southern stretch of the sea, targeted by Houthi rebels based in Yemen. A US-led task force, which includes vessels from the Royal Navy, has been patrolling the area. The militant group has launched a string of missile attacks and attempted hijackings in protest over the situation in Gaza. Tonight, the Houthis warned America will face consequences for its actions as fears grow that the conflict could spread. Amy Lewis reports. The Lib Dems have called for an inquiry into meetings between Dominic Cummings and Rishi Sunak to determine whether they broke the ministerial code. Boris Johnson's former advisor claims Sunak sought a secret deal for him to come back to Downing Street to help fight the next election. Number 10 sources have not denied the meetings took place, but insisted that no job was offered. Mr. Cummings says he refused to return after his conditions for a deal weren't met. Europe's longest reigning living monarch, Queen Margrethe II of Denmark, has announced her abdication after a 52-year reign. She revealed the news unexpectedly at the end of her traditional New Year's TV address, saying that she would be handing over the crown to her son, Prince Frederick. The 6-foot-tall chain-smoking monarch is a great-granddaughter of Queen Victoria and was close to her third cousin, Queen Elizabeth. The award-winning journalist and documentary maker John Pilger has died at the age of 84. He started his television career at ITV's Granada Television for World in Action. His reporting first drew global attention to the Cambodian genocide, and throughout his career he shone a light on human rights issues around the world. Jay Atbar looks back at his life. John Pilger, who's died aged 84. To sport, Luton Town captain Tom Lockyer has spoken for the first time since he collapsed during a Premiership game 2 weeks ago. The 29-year-old defender had a cardiac arrest as his side faced Bournemouth. He's since been discharged from hospital and is recovering at home. In a post on Instagram, Lockyer says he's doing well and thanked the other players and medics that saved his life. For Arsenal, 2023 looks like it's ending with a fizzle rather than a bang. The title contenders suffered their second straight defeat over the festive period, losing 2-1 at Fulham. Chris Scudder was watching. Let's return now to the New Year's Eve celebrations with less than 10 minutes of 2023 to go. We'll bring you the bongs of Big Ben as they announce the arrival of 2024. It will end a tumultuous year, both here in the UK and around the world. Overseas, it was another year scarred by conflict in the Middle East and the continuing war in Ukraine. At home, we saw some of the most disruptive strike action in decades and the shock return of a former Prime Minister. And we saw two very rare events indeed, the coronation of a king and England in a World Cup final. Martin Stew takes a look back at the highs and lows of a turbulent 12 months. 5 minutes until midnight now. Let's get a sense of the atmosphere from John Ray on the banks of the Thames in London and Peter Smith at the Hogmanay celebrations in Edinburgh. John, to you first. How are things shaping up there?
Well, I guess, Romilly, for a lot of people watching this at home tonight, these will be moments of quiet reflection upon the 12 months just past, perhaps raising a glass or two to absent friends. But as you can probably hear from the music and the uproar around me, here on the banks of the Thames, it is party time. 100,000 people here to ensure that 2024 starts with a bang. A whole series of bangs, of course. More than 12,000 fireworks, more than 12 minutes of colour, of deafening spectacle, with an emphasis, we're told, on community, on bringing this country together. You might remember last year a rather touching tribute to the late Queen Elizabeth II. This year we're told there will be more than a nod to the NHS's 75th birthday. Romilly, the excitement is mounting, the countdown is underway. We can hardly wait.
While London sounded lively and Peter's in Edinburgh. Peter, are they in the party mood there?
Yeah, we're not at midnight yet, but people here are already wishing each other a happy Hogmanay. That's because the New Year in Scotland is more of a festival of celebrations that goes on for days. Starting today on Hogmanay, the New Year's Eve, then tomorrow there's the traditions of first footing, people visiting their neighbours, bringing gifts and good luck. And there's even an extra day's bank holiday on the 2nd of January, just to give people an extra day to recover from all that celebrating. New Year in Scotland is a big deal, and it doesn't come any bigger than the street party here in the nation's capital in Edinburgh. 40,000 people on the street on Princes Street, just down there behind me. A few thousand more crammed into Carlton Hill here alongside us here, trying to catch a glimpse of the fireworks. 6 tons of fireworks that will be fired over Edinburgh Castle. This is the 30th anniversary of the Edinburgh Street Party. I asked someone why it's going strong after all this time. They said, where else in the world can you bring in the new year against the backdrop of a castle, holding hands with a stranger and singing Auld Lang Syne?
Thank you. And in just a few moments, we will be welcoming in the new year. It's been a 12 months. Many of us will cheerfully bid farewell, but 2024 holds out the hope of a fresh start. London is promising to light up the night sky with a riot of colour and noise, and the fireworks on the Thames are just about to be lit. So now is the time to hold those close to you, or think of those who are far, at home or wherever you're celebrating, as we cross now to listen to the sound of Big Ben. As celebrations continue here in London to mark the beginning of the new year, watched by 100,000 people along the banks of the River Thames and millions at home. A display reflecting the milestones of 2023 and looking ahead to 2024. So it only remains for me to say, Happy New Year.
It's a cold and wet outlook with some heavy downpours throughout the day. Heinz Big Soup sponsors ITV National Weather.